What's going on, Jay Bears? Andrew J here. Welcome to episode 15 of the Jay by the Bay podcast. I'm excited to be back and discussing today's topics. Today will be yet another awesome rendition of the show. As always, remember football news, football conversations, football year round. Usually, I'm flying solo on Thursdays, but joining me, he's on vacation this week. My favorite co-pilot, my favorite co-host, Blair Cologne. What's up, brother?
Not much, man. Just enjoying the vacation. Ben's had this will be his third day of school. Um, he's doing awesome. And for preschool, they already sent him home homework. So had to do a
Start
little
him early, man.
yeah, had to do a little homework last night with him. He's having so much fun though. Dropped him off today and he noticed three little kids running by and he was like, "Dad, look, my friends." And I'm like, "You told me you didn't remember any of your classmates, but you recognize them." So glad he's
That's
having a
good.
lot of fun, having a
Good.
great
So he's loving it.
vacation. Oh yeah, he's already loving it. Already
That's
loving it.
awesome, man. I love it. Seriously, I love to hear it, bro.
Yeah.
But before we dig into stuff, OJ Brigance, I just want to say a little tribute to him. OJ Brigance, Super Bowl champion, passed away on Monday. At the age of 56. For people who didn't know him, won a Super Bowl with the Baltimore Ravens. But fantastic guy. Motivational speaker. First diagnosed or went public with ALS in 2007. But just want to say God bless. My condolences go out to the whole Bergance family, and it's just God bless his soul. But yeah, with that being said, let's get into it. So week 2, preseason, we're officially moving along with this. Got some exciting games. We got 2 games tonight. We got Raiders, Texans. Also have the 49ers at the Chargers. So really exciting stuff. Flair, just like last week. I mean, you got any games that you're really looking at? How about the games tonight?
So both games tonight, I'm really interested to watch. We've paid attention a little bit to the Raiders and to the 49ers, talked about
Yep.
them. But, I haven't paid attention to much of Houston and the Chargers, so I want to see what they do. Both teams, had very strong years last year. Houston dealing with that injury to wide receiver.
Yeah,
I
Jalen
really,
Higgins
yeah,
suffering that ACL injury.
yep, yep. I really want to see what they got in the depth at the receiving core. Is it a case where you need to go out and add a veteran? Is it a case that you bring someone in, or does a practice squad guy step up? Does someone in your depth in your wide receiver room step up? So I really want to see what they can do. They've always had a strong defense. So let's see what they can do with that.
So
For
I
the
think,
Raiders, yeah, go ahead.
yeah, for the Texans, I think they might see what they got in house because Nico Collins is the clear number
Yeah,
1 receiver. Xavier Hutchinson, he made a strong case for himself last year. Originally, I believe he was a 6th round pick out of Iowa State. They love their Iowa State receivers, by the way.
yep,
So Xavier Hutchinson, Jalen Higgins, who just went down, and then Jalen Noel, who was a 3rd round pick last year. He's going to be in the mix for the receiver 2 position or receiver 3 position. I'm sorry, but then also Tank Dell's back from his injury.
yeah,
So a couple of mixes. Lewis Bond has been a surprise at camp. He was a 6th round pick out of Boston College. He's just performed very well. He's shown route intelligence. It's very impressive. Showing reliable hands. Zone awareness. And they also have Justin Watson. I don't think he's really in the mix to be a receiver 3 or anything, but 3-time Super Bowl champion with the Buccaneers and Chiefs. So I mean, they have some in-house guys there. I don't think it's out of the question. They are kind of in a win-now stage. So if they do go
yeah,
out and get somebody, I would not be surprised either. But
yeah.
sorry, go ahead. You were saying about the Raiders, though.
Same thing for the Raiders too. I want to see their wide receivers. I want to see if Mendoza plays tonight. Does he develop some more chemistry with them and his tight ends? And I want to see Mike Washington Jr. as well.
I
We
do
were
too,
saying
man.
we were saying last week with Ashton Genty and him, you could have a
He's
nice
starting
one-two
tonight.
punch. Oh, he
He'll
is.
be starting. Yeah, he'll be starting
So
tonight.
with him getting some with the bulk of the carries, I want to really see what the Raiders can do with that because it again, just like last week, we said, Kirk Cousins is your guy, and you're sitting there. And if you're a Raiders fan, I know you're probably clamoring and saying like, we want to see Mendoza more. We want to see Mendoza more. These are your games that you're going to get to see it. Who knows how long he's really going to be out there because you really don't want to risk something like that going on for him.
No,
But
absolutely. I don't think he's not starting, but I can see him getting a couple, some first team
yeah,
reps tonight.
Yeah, and if he does get some good reps against like some number ones, some number twos, let's see if that transitions. Let's see if it was just a case going against the twos, or if he has some problems. That's actually really good in my opinion, because then it lets you know what he has to go in and fix. So
No, no, for sure.
I'm
Yeah, I
I'm
was
really
just
excited to see it. I'm really excited to see both teams play. Um, really excited for the Raiders, especially because they're in a pretty tough division, and if they figure out some pieces right now, next year, who knows what could happen? They could be talking about going up against the Chiefs to try and take that division away from them. But I think with their division, it's going to be pretty tough as well, because you have Denver and Kansas City who are right now and win now too. So let's
they
see what
are
we can get.
they are. I mean, Raiders. They are a team just like the Cardinals. I think they're heading in the right direction. Now, for the Raiders, at least, I think it's too early to tell. It's only been one game, but from what we've seen from Fernando Mendoza, he just shows all the the true makings of like what an NFL quarterback looks like. I mean, I am going to be shocked if his game doesn't translate to the NFL. But yeah, the receiver corps, that's a major concern to me. Receiver one, receiver two, it looks like it's going to be Jalen Naylor and Trey Tucker. I don't think they're going to have a true number one though. I think it'll just kind of flip flop, as the season goes. But I mean, receiver three, Jack Beck, who they took in the second round last year, I thought he was a bit of a disappointment. I thought they took him way too high. I thought he was a reach in the second round. But it looks like he's going to be starting. I think they're going to give him a shot at the slot. They're giving him all the opportunities to really earn, some starting time here. But Malik Benson, 6th round pick out of Oregon, he's been a surprise guy at camp. Don't I would not be surprised if he gets a lot of reps. So yeah, they got to figure something out at receiver. As like I was saying, they got Brock Bauer, also Michael Mary at tight end, but you got to have somebody else catching the ball as
Yeah,
well.
yeah,
Also with the Raiders though, I do want to see some more from Jermon McCoy. He did have a rough outing, so Jermon McCoy missed all of last season with Tennessee. He tore that ACL after the 2024 season, and there was a off-season workouts. But yeah, 1st round talent. Raiders go out, get him with the first pick in the 4th round this year. He surrendered 2 touchdowns though in the last game. So yeah, that's tough.
that's
That's a
very
tough pill to
tough.
swallow. But the talent is there. So I really I got to see something from him tonight. So I'm pulling for him. I think he rebounds. I certainly don't think he's giving up 2 touchdowns again. So but let's see what he's got. But anything else with the Texans and Raiders game?
No, those were my main takeaways. I really just wanted to see what they were going to do with these small pieces that they got. They got a lot to work on. As you were saying it with the defense, Crosby's out here ready to go because he's out here hitting people and
Sending Kirk
making plays.
Cousins.
Yeah, yeah, making plays. So, you know, with that whole thing going on, like I know he's itching to get into the winning style for the Raiders. If you're the Raiders, just keep building on the blocks that you got. So hopefully tonight you figure out some pieces. Hopefully you figure out your wide receivers and you go into next year. I mean, hey, if you have a high spot where you're going to be taking a draft, there's a wide receiver in Ohio State that a lot of people are going to be wanting. And if you can add him to your room with Fernando Mendoza, I mean, that's a solid piece right there to add. And then you have
Imagine that.
Genty. Could you imagine that? Like Jeremiah Smith,
Jeremiah Smith.
Mike Washington Jr., Ashton Genty, and Fernando Mendoza with your talented tight ends. It's not a bad start to your offense right
It's an
there. So
electrifying offense.
yeah, yeah. So you never know for the Raiders, and I mean, there's going to be a lot of pieces. After college, I'm sure that other wide receivers that if you don't get Jeremiah, you're going to be able to get your guy. So I'm excited though to see it. I'm two young teams that want to win. Houston's in win now mode. Raiders coming up. So I think it's going to be a very, very exciting game.
Yeah, I'll definitely be tuning in. I am looking forward to seeing 49ers or Chargers. So that's 10 p.m. game. Got some position battles with the Chargers. I know the one that I'm really looking at. Well, now that Tyler Byatt is, you know, center from the Commanders. They just gave him a 3-year contract. Another guy tears his ACL, so he's out. So on top of the left guard competition, now they got to figure out, starting center. So right now it looks like Jake Slaughter is their second round pick out of Florida. It was looking like they're going to try to have him compete at left guard. Now he's got to compete for center, which is his true position. But Jacob Spammer was a guy that I was looking at, played 32 snaps in the last game, 82 overall PFF grade, 82 pass block grade by PFF, allowed 0 sacks, 0 pressures. But then that's not even the impressive part. 90 PFF run block grade. So, let's pump the brakes on Jake Slaughter all of a sudden being named, starting center for the Chargers. But then, also at left guard, Coyote Awasika, I was talking about this guy last week. Only played 15 snaps. The workload was minimal, but he was excellent. 90.1 overall PFF grade, 81.2 pass block grade. Same thing, 0 sacks, 0 pressures, 85.5 run block grade by PFF. So, I mean, right now he appears to be the front runner left guard.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's not all bad for the Chargers. I mean, next man up mentality. I think they really got some guys that are really stepping up that can fill some, those injury roles there. But you see anything with the Chargers going on?
I mean, with those injuries happening, like I kind of feel bad for Herbert because you talk about another young electric quarterback with the Chargers. I thought that they were going to be a team that is ready to compete with Mahomes and Denver with Harbaugh there, and they dealt with the injury bug with Hampton last year. So him coming back, and now you have some line issues. I
They're
feel
always
really,
having these line issues.
yeah, I'm feeling really bad for the Chargers. I'm feeling really bad for Herbert because I think the guy is a phenomenal quarterback. I like his coach. I like Hampton. I like the pieces that he got there. It just feels like they can't get over this hump of this injury. And if you have key offensive line guys going down, we were talking about it with Cincinnati protecting Joe Burrow. If you can't protect Herbert, I mean, there's a potential of Herbert getting hurt. And then what do you do with your season?
Well, that's the thing too. I mean, Herbert, at least he's mobile. Unlike
Yeah,
Burrow can run a little bit, but you can only run and evade these guys only for
yeah,
so long. But yeah, I
yep,
mean, Herbert was out without his blindside tackle last year, and
yeah.
Rashawn Slater, and then also Joe Alt. He only played 6 games last year at right tackle, so they need that line to stay healthy. I mean,
Yeah.
they can't afford any more injuries on that line.
No, no. And like when they are healthy, it shows because Herbert has had great years where you're looking at him and you're like, wow, this guy is the guy that's going to go up against Pat Mahomes to maybe take this division from him. And with the Raiders coming up, finding their quarterback, Pat Mahomes sticking around and playing like he's going to be playing, and now Denver figuring out their situation. If you're the Chargers, you're like, we got to figure this line out fast because you're soon going to just get pushed to the back end and you're never going to come back up in Herbert's prime years. So,
Oh yeah, you got your quarterback. It's
mhm,
you gotta stay healthy around him.
yeah. So I'm really looking forward to seeing that tonight. I'm looking forward to see the 49ers receiver again that we talked about.
De- DeJon
I want,
Stribling,
I want to
the
see
guy
if
they
he
call
has a, yeah,
the guy they call Strip City.
yes. I want to see if he has another good game. I want to see if he goes up against some talented corners from San Diego. And I want to see that quarterback again. I still can't remember his name for the 49ers.
It was Curtis Rohr.
Yes, because he had a really
So
good game. So I want to see how he does as well. Because I don't think that they're playing Brock Purdy. I could be wrong. And if he does, it's going
I
to be a
don't believe
limited
so.
series.
Uh,
Um,
Yeah, I don't think he's going tonight. Yeah, it'll just be Rorik and then possibly one other guy. It's
yeah.
another guy that it's on the tip of my tongue. I can't think of it for the
But
life of me.
for the 49ers, again, like I want to see what they're doing on offense. I want to see the wide receivers. I want to see if there's still some more chemistry going with them. Because they're in another tough division. We always talk about it with the Rams and with Seattle. So if you find your guys and if you can stay healthy, you're gonna be competing. But the main thing is coming out and staying healthy. So both games tonight are going to be exciting games. You can't go wrong with it. A lot of position battles going. A lot of stories could come out of it where this quarterback maybe he doesn't stick around in 49ers, maybe next year we hear him at a different team. Um, I know one team that I would like to see a quarterback get added to that we're going to talk about later. But yeah, both of these games tonight, I'm really excited for.
No, definitely. But yeah, I mean, go back to Stribling. It's looking like he's going to have another good game. Supposedly, he's caught 2 red zone touchdowns this week at the joint practice. And he's primarily practicing with the second team, but he is getting first team reps. I truly think, once camp wraps, I think he is receiver 2 there in
Yeah.
San Francisco. I think it's inevitable. I know you got Christian Kirk. Ricky Purcell's obviously out for the season, but I think he ends up being the number 2 receiver right behind Mike Evans. He's
Yeah.
just the talent is there, and again, he's proven me wrong. I was a guy I wasn't particularly high on him. I thought it was a reach where they took him, the 49ers, the 33rd pick. So yeah, I'm excited to see him as well. But I know we were talking Jets Steelers tomorrow at 7 p.m. That's a game you're looking at, isn't it?
It is. For the Jets, they're another team that I haven't paid really much attention to. So I want to watch if Garrett Wilson's out there. I want to see how he looks. Um, I want to see what the Jets do with this running back injury with Hall going down. That's a big loss for them. So and Jets by no mean like they're at a point right now where they're trying to figure out their whole team. They've got a lot of work to do, but I want to see what they can do with this running back injury, who they got. And then for the Steelers, like both their quarterbacks. I mean, let's see who gets the start between Aller and Howard, because you can
They
only
got a
have
real
one. You can only have
they have
one
a
starter, but
dilemma there, and it's a good
it's
dilemma because
it's a very good dilemma.
I mean, right now, and everything is pointing. It's looking like Mason Rudolph is going to be the backup. Now, I
Yeah,
mean, depending on what they do, that's what all the reports are saying. If one of them, if they both go out and do the same thing they did last week, I don't see how they cannot be in conversation to be a backup. And just Howard, the talent is there. I know, 6th round pick. I think they're particularly high on Drew Aller for the fact that they took him in the 3rd round.
yes,
Now, I'm a guy, and I'm not saying like I was like this huge Drew Aller fan, but I did like his game, and I think that it could translate to the next level in the NFL. I'm a guy that I probably would have reached and taken him in the back end of the 2nd round, depending on what my other needs were.
hmm
So I think they are high on Drew Aller. I think he might end up having a slight edge over Will Howard, but we'll see. I mean, like I said, I can't see how Mason Rudolph is just automatically the backup quarterback. One of
yeah,
these guys has to be in consideration.
and and I mean, you're talking about two guys that have similar skill sets, I believe. Both can be, everyone talks about, Allard can be a little bit mobile and make those, but everyone forgets that Will Howard was able to do it too. I mean, he showed it in the college football playoffs when we needed a first down or a scramble, like Will Howard was able to do it. Um, and like you said, it's a great problem to have because if you know Allard is your guy and he's the guy moving forward, and if you're Will Howard, you know that, then you just go out here and ball because there's going to be a team that's going to give you a call and say, "Hey, we want you." And maybe it doesn't come off this contract because he's still under contract with them, but maybe a team reaches out to Pittsburgh and says, "Hey, we want to trade for Will Howard." And if you're the Steelers, you have your backup, and then you have Drew Aller, who you know you're going to move forward with. I mean,
And you have to be willing to listen.
yeah. And I mean, coming from a fan of another AFC North team, I mean, I wish I had that problem right now. Like,
It's a good problem. It really is a good problem.
it's a great problem to have. And shout out to them for recognizing and finding these quarterbacks because, especially coming off of Drew Aller's injury, I know a lot of people were hesitant to take Drew Aller. Everyone was like, we're going to stay away. And they went and got him, and it shows that he was ready to go. He just was ready to go.
Well, and then
I,
the scary part is though. So we were talking about how atrocious the Pittsburgh offensive line was last week. Can you imagine if they actually play a successful game this year? This
yeah,
game. Aller was 10 for 13. Will Howard was 7 for 9. I mean, they both looked poised and comfortable, even with all the pressure. Because we were talking about what I mean, the whole team itself surrendered what, 7 penalties the first half,
Yep. And
10,
that
10
was
in the
a,
whole game.
and that was what I wrote down too. Like, let's see if, week 2, let's see if they can clean up these penalties, because you can't have that. You just can't have that many penalties in the first half. But yeah, I mean, if they could put together a solid game and protect either of these guys, I mean, look
Well,
out.
I tell you one guy that I think they wish they had on offense. So the New York Jets, I I was talking about. I think I ended up giving them an A- in the draft. Inez Cooper, who was a guy that nobody was even talking about. He was sixth round pick, offensive guard out of Miami. So he played 28 snaps. So last week he was got a decent amount with 28, but 90.9 overall PFF grade, 85.2 pass block grade, 0 sacks, 0 pressures, and then his run block was 89.5, run block grade. So Inez Cooper, that's a guy wasn't originally was looking to make the roster. Now I think he's arguably trying to make possibly become a starter on that offensive line in New York. So the Gang Green have a lot to be excited about. Pittsburgh Steelers also have a lot to be excited about. But you were talking about AFC North. I know the team you're talking about because unfortunately I am a fan of them as well. So Bills at Browns Saturday 1 p.m.
Yep. Yep. Saturday is gonna be an interesting game to watch, because I was at work for this first preseason game. Coworkers were watching it, and they would come in and tell me what's going on, and then I got to watch the game after. And I mean, I think you texted me. You're like, it's typical Browns, where you have a scripted first drive, and then it just falls off the rails after. And there's just so much work that you have to do offensively for this team. I I really just hope going into this game that the wide receivers look like we have a wide receiving group to move forward with. That's
That's right.
really that's really what I'm looking forward to seeing.
I want to see, Concepcion. We kind of saw he showcased what he could do in open field. I
Yeah.
definitely want to see something from Denzel Boston. I know
Yes.
Boston didn't play as much. He did have one catch for 15 yards, but Concepcion he showed. I definitely want to see more from Denzel Boston.
Yeah.
I think at the end of the day, I think he has more upside than Concepcion, and I
I do
just think
too.
his ceiling is that much more higher. And that's not to knock Concepcion,
No.
but just I want to see something. But I mean, the one thing that kind of ticked me off was Todd Monken canceling Tuesday's practice early because of fighting.
Yep.
And that's the thing, first off, for some players, they need to distinguish the difference between fighting and scuffling. Scuffling is fine. It's, grown men, a lot of testosterone. Somebody, hits you the wrong way, somebody yanks on your face mask, you're going to react. I know I would, I have.
Yeah.
But I mean, to it getting to the point to where you're canceling practice early, this is a team that cannot afford to miss any sort of practice at all. I don't care if they're cutting it short by a
Yep.
minute. But I mean,
I agree.
I was looking into it. Supposedly, so Benton Whitley, he's an edge rusher who I'm not even sure if he's going to make the team. I guess he hit Shador Sanders when he was releasing a pass, which you can't do. I mean, that's the golden rule. Don't hit the quarterback.
Yeah. Yeah.
I guess they're picking on Quinshon Judkins. I guess Aiden
Yes.
Huntington.
Yes.
They had knocked Judkins to the ground. I don't know if that was retaliation with the Michael Hall Jr.
Yep. And then Jared
Blindside,
Verse. And
yanked
then
off his
yeah.
guardian cap.
Yeah.
But it's like, I mean, I saw that. They just looked kind of like a football player. Looked like Verse kind
Yeah.
of got too high on them. But yeah, I mean, Monken's got to take control of that team. And I'm not knocking the guy at all. I don't see
No.
every practice, but
For
you can't
me,
be ending practice early.
when I saw, the reports of ending practice early and the fighting, and this goes like for all the NFL, I'm sorry, but like, to me, and I played pee wee football. I played freshman year football. To me, and you played more football than me. To me, that's what you sign up for. This time around right now, it's hot, it's humid, tempers are going to flare. And I agree with you. There's a difference between fighting and scuffling. Sometimes you just got to let them have it out. That's where you build, that's to me where you build that team. when you
Oh
know,
yeah,
like when
it's
you
like
know
brothers
you got
hugging.
some exactly. Exactly. I got 3 kids and they do it all the time. Do I have to separate them? Yeah, I do. I do have to separate them every now and then. But when you talk about a team with the Browns that has so much work to do, there's so much work. I agree with you. You can't just end practice like that. And maybe it was you were preventing an injury or going, you know, crossing the line. Maybe a line got crossed. That's something that after practice should be handled where it's like, hey, today it got out of hand. We're not going to keep doing that. But this is training camp. This is preseason.
That's
This. They got one game out
yeah.
of their system to hit somebody else. I mean, you're a grown man that this is the game. The game is hitting. It's violence. So, and I'm not condoning like, oh, go out there and blindside your guy and try and take him out. No, but hard hitting is a part of the game. And if you're worried about a player getting injured, maybe they're not doing something that they should be doing in the offseason because it just to me seems like there's a lot of toughness that's going down. I mean, I remember younger, and I know there's a lot of injury protocols and stuff like that. But man,
it's a part of the game.
it just feels
It's
like
football.
sometimes the toughness isn't there. And I'll bring it like full circle to this. Like I've told you, I do boxing and I do some mixed martial arts just for the gym. I'm not trying to be like a fighter or anything like that. But we have sparring on Wednesdays and Fridays, and I have a coach that literally tells us, like, guys, yeah, we're sparring and we're taking it light on each other, but you need to remember that if you're not trying to get better in these moments, and yeah, you may have got hit a little hard. Imagine if you're in a real fight and that little hit was 100%. So you need to take what you learned here and apply it to when you actually do something. And I think that's what you
Well,
got to
that's where
look
you get
at with
better.
these
That's where
scuffles. Exactly.
you get better at practice. And that but that's the
Yeah.
thing too. It's I don't like again. I'm not seeing all these practices, but where you definitely draw the line is, dude. There's no swinging when you're clenching a fist, and so you don't swing and hit
Yeah.
your teammate.
No.
Now, when it basically, I guess when it starts getting to the point where helmets are getting ripped off, yeah, you step in, you'd be like, cut the crap out. That's
Did
you,
did you see
you
the
just.
Saints scuffle
I was going to be getting into that.
with and did you
You know
see
who that is, right?
I do. I was going to ask you if you knew who that was
So
because that man,
Brock Rexsteiner. Dude, he did a German suplex.
just like his father,
But that's,
just
I
like his
mean,
father.
and I think what led to that is, so I was looking into it. I really had to like kind of like stop it and freeze it. So Jalen
Yeah,
Thompson's actually going to be a starter. It looks like he's slated to start at least for safety for the Cowboys. So I think they're just like, oh hell no, like we're not having
yeah,
that.
yeah.
But yeah, I did see that. Well, and then he's suspended for the first 6 games for an
Because
unrelated
of that.
incident.
Oh,
No,
okay,
unrelated.
gotcha.
But yeah. Speaking of the Saints, though, that's a game that I'm also looking at. Saints at Rams Saturday at 4 p.m. Got a lot of good guys. Obviously, Ty Simpson. 21 for 25 the last game, 190 yards, 2 touchdowns, had a 125 passer rating.
Yep,
I really want to see. I don't know if he's getting the start over Stenson Bennett. He may. They might be. McVay might be giving him the nod. I would assume that he would be getting some reps with the first team at least.
yeah,
But that's a guy I want to see. Absolutely look like he belonged in the NFL the last game. Only one game, but the future does look bright in LA. Especially
yes,
with
it
Ty
does.
Simpson.
Yeah,
Uh, But and then Saints got some good guys. I know. I was talking to you yesterday. What, MJ Emerson, the former Brown? They got him on a dime. They got him on a 1 year, $1.5 million contract.
I mean,
He's looking like 2023 MJ Emerson.
and
I mean,
if he plays like that, it's just going to be another check in to what are you doing for the Browns? Because I mean, the defense for the Browns is great. Like we have a great defense. But
we never
why
have too many DBs
you can
though.
never have too many. And I really liked Emerson when he was here.
Oh, I loved him when he
I
came
thought
out of
he did a
Mississippi State.
phenomenal job.
I loved that pick. That was my favorite pick that year when Barry took him. I thought that was an outstanding pick. But I mean, listen to this. All right, so he had 13 coverage snaps. Those are just coverage snaps. So his overall PFF grade in the last game was 90.1. He had a 91.3 coverage grade. 13 coverage snaps. He had 3 pass breakups. and he nearly had an interception. He only allowed one reception. It was within 10 yards. But I mean, yeah, you put him with Kool-Aid McKinstry and Quincy Riley, you have a phenomenal and dangerous cornerback trio there in New Orleans. Yeah, I mean, they look scary in the secondary.
Could
But
could be a team that sneaks up. You know what I mean with New Orleans. I know we both thought that Tampa Bay was going to take that division, but you never know if you're New Orleans. You know.
yeah, I got the. If I go back, I think I have them going 7-10. But yeah, I mean, they could be a sneaky good team. I mean, who knows? I mean, they got with Olave. Now I know Jordan Tyson's out for 2 months.
Yep.
That's a big blow for them. So I mean, somebody else just has to step up. But Tyler Shuck, we'll see. I did like Tyler Shuck coming out of college. Like when I thought he would have came out like 3 years ago. He was another guy who was a
Yeah.
6 years. But we'll see. I mean, one of the guys though I am looking out for the Saints though on defense is Christian Miller with first round potential. Ended up going in the second round. He's one of those Georgia defensive tackles. 90.5 overall PFF grade. 3 run stops. So, run stopping was his best facet at Georgia. But like Caden McDonald, I thought that was a good value pick in the second round.
Yeah.
Looking to see a little bit more from him in the second game for New Orleans. But yeah, you got any other games though that you're eyeing?
Those were my four, and then I wasn't sure what games were going to be available to me to watch on Saturday. I'll obviously be watching all the games on Saturday as well, being on vacation. Did you have the list? You were
Absolutely.
going to read off some games.
Yeah. So all right. So tomorrow, so we announced 2 games tonight. So the two other games going on tomorrow. So you got the Panthers at Jaguars at 7. You also got the Packers at Broncos at 9. And then going to Saturday, where the bulk of the games are, you got Commanders at Lions, Ravens at Vikings. I know in that game, Jacoby Lane, with the training camp production, it's translated to, live action, scored that touchdown last week.
Yep.
Miles Price was a guy we didn't touch on. He's with, surprise guy at camp for the Vikings. He had
Yeah.
that one-handed touchdown catch in the last game.
Yep. Yep.
But they also got Falcons at Colts, Giants at Dolphins. Now I know you wanted to see more from Marvell Reese, so
Yep.
16 snaps only last week.
Yep.
He had 2 tackles, looked physical. He was actually the highest graded defensive rookie
Okay.
last week. I don't know if you knew.
Okay.
I was surprised by that. But also Malachi Fields was a guy that
Yes.
I was particularly high on him coming out of Notre
Yep.
Dame. I know you liked this game in the last game.
I did.
Caught
I
that
did.
caught that caught that touchdown from Jackson Dart.
Yep. And hopefully the Giants can do some work on that offensive line. No blindside blitzes are coming out of nowhere, hitting your quarterback. I don't think Dart is playing this week though.
Yeah,
Could
I
be
don't think the
wrong.
Giants. I
I
don't
could
think they
be wrong.
officially released their. I don't think they officially released that depth chart. But yeah, they got other than the offensive line, they had a pretty good game all
Yeah.
around last week.
Hmm.
But yeah, and then you also got the Bears at the Bengals. Jordan Vandenberg, he was actually very disruptive against the Browns last game. So he was a 6th-round pick out of Georgia Tech. This is a guy that South African. This dude's huge. Had 37 reps on the bench press at the combine. Want to see some more from him. Eagles at Patriots. He's got the
That's
AJ
gonna
Brown.
be that's gonna be a good game. That
He's
that one that one I'm
I
looking
did
forward to as well.
I did see at the joint practice. I think it's been plastered all over. You probably even seen it. Where there's that deep ball, the one-on-one with Quinyon Mitchell.
Yes. Yes.
Quinyon Mitchell ended up breaking it up, but yeah, I don't know how much he's going to be. AJ Brown or Quinyon Mitchell are going to be playing, if at all. But yeah, I want to see something in that game. You also got Chiefs at Buccaneers, so we'll see at that too.
It's gonna be a good game too. A lot of
Mansour
good
Delani.
games.
Mansour
Hmm.
Delani was the first cornerback taken off the board. Did not play last week, but he's been a lockdown corner at camp. He's looking
And
like a true replacement for Trent McDuffie.
and for the Giants, didn't they just go out and sign Harris, the running
Najee,
back?
so Najee
So
Harris, that actually makes me think that maybe something's going on with Cam Scatterbo. You mentioned something about it looked like he was limping up on that one run.
yep. There was just like one route that he ran in camp. They showed it all over. He made a cut to the right and it just looked like his knee gave out a little bit. If
So
that's the case,
with this
you
signing, there
know,
might be something behind that.
yeah. And if he plays, I want to see how he looks because he missed all of last season, didn't he, Harris?
Najee Harris, I believe he did, yeah, because he signed with the Chargers,
So
but he ended up getting hurt early.
so let's see how he looks too, physical runner, so matches the style of Cam. Um and maybe they just want to take that workload, make it a little less on Cam, you know what I mean? And split it between two guys. Both are talented running backs, so
Yeah, I
and
mean, you
with
got a
the
couple. There's a couple guys in that room. I mean, so that's a loaded
yeah,
running back room there. The Giants.
yeah. And with the Eagles and the Patriots, I mean, you're talking about two teams that are in win now, but could look very different at the end of the year, you know? Um, I want to
Absolutely.
see I want to see how the Eagles look offensively without AJ Brown, with their wide receivers. I want to see how that offense is clicking, and for the Patriots, I want to see if they're just keep building on what they've already got. And if AJ Brown does get a chance to play, I want to see how he looks in that Patriots uniform. He stated all along that he wanted to come to the Patriots. He was a Patriots fan when he was a kid, so he gets his chance now. So I want to see him how he looks in that Patriots uniform. Does he make some big catches for them? I think it's going to be an exciting game. That game, I completely forgot about that game. That's Saturday
Hopefully,
night
hope.
too, isn't it?
I mean, that is, yeah. So Patriots Eagles. That is a 7 p.m. game.
Yep.
Well, hopefully Brown left his drama in Philadelphia. I
Yeah.
will say this though, as a Browns fan, I am a little jealous with the Patriots because I mean what they suffered, like two losing seasons. One was really bad the year before Vrabel, and then like one like that last year with Belichick. You know who's calling the shots and making all these trades and signings in New
So,
England?
so
Elliott Wolf. Elliott Wolf, who was with the Browns,
and Vrabel was in there. Vrabel was
and
right
and
there.
and then you got
Vrabel
Mike
was
Vrabel,
right there.
who
Vrabel
was
was right
who was
there.
a consultant.
Consultant. I'm sorry, like it just
He
makes me
said
so
he was
frustrated.
he said he was willing to listen if they offered, but yeah, he said there was never ever that type of conversation when
I
Stefanski was
just
there.
I and honestly for Vrabel, good for him. I couldn't picture him being here with this because and I marked it down as something I'm gonna watch because we have to watch it because we're fans. This quarterback battle. I mean, it's if I don't know if you've listened to any of the stuff going on here now that you're down there with this quarterback battle,
Oh,
but
I'm a Browns fan. Of course, I torture
I
myself to
mean,
listen to it.
like if they're really throwing this many interceptions and it's in training camp, like I just don't even know what we're gonna do this season because this is you, when you hear that coming out of a huddle and just snapping the ball is progressing. Tuh, I mean, I don't know what we're gonna do. I really don't. It sounds
Well,
like
like
to
I
me
said,
like you got to go out there and just find another quarterback. Like we don't
well,
even have.
it's Watson's job to lose. Unless Watson goes out there and just plays terrible. Like, and when I say terrible, I'm talking like 3 pick sixes, or God forbid, or he gets hurt again. I, other than that, I do think that we do see Shador Sanders at some point this season. I do think he starts at some point, but it's right now. It's unfortunately it is Deshaun Watson's team. I mean,
It,
we'll
it's
see.
just
I mean,
it just blows my mind that we're still in this spot as the Browns. We just keep going back to this because then when you even hear stuff
well,
like you when you even
well
hear like there's a chance Dylan Gabriel might come, or do you give him a shot at starting? I'm like, what are we doing? Just what are
no,
we doing here?
I told you what I want them to do with Gabriel. I told you trade him or let him walk, let him sign with Atlanta, so they have all three. With Penix
Exactly.
Jr., Penix Jr. You also got Tua,
To
and then
you
Gabriel,
get
and then
Brunell.
Mark Brunell. He's the quarterbacks coach for the Lions right now, but maybe buy him off, maybe give him like
Yeah,
a 7th round pick, get him over. You got all
yeah.
left-hand quarterbacks. Maybe you throw in Mike Vick there.
It's wild.
I will say this though. All right, so we had the whole Baker thing up in Cleveland. I don't know how true this is, but supposedly I heard 50 million a year was brought up in negotiations, and there was no agreement.
To Baker?
So there could be a similar situation down here in Tampa.
I mean, look out at that. I'm honestly shocked that Tampa didn't pull the trigger and re-sign him. Because I think you did get him on a discount, and I think he has proven that he is capable of being your quarterback.
I mean,
So
at the end
that
of the
did
day,
shock me a little bit.
there's only so many quarterbacks that can, play, and there's very even few that could actually start on an NFL team. It's like, who else are you going to throw out there? So I mean, if and that's just the market. That's the market. So I mean, obviously he's done with negotiations at least this, right
Yep.
now until next off season. Um, I don't know. Yeah. So I mean, the
Is
Buccaneers,
it
it's not. I don't think it's a willingness of not paying because they did re-sign or they extended
exactly? Yeah.
Vita VA. So they
Yep.
extended him just for like another season. So I don't know. It's
So for you in Tampa, then, if let's say the Patriots, not Patriots, let's say the Steelers are sitting on having both Drew Aller and Will Howard. If you're a Tampa Bay guy, would you make the call to try and potentially get one of them?
I mean, I'll make the call, but it depends. What is my like? What am I giving up?
Oh, no, you tell me.
We, we talk about.
Like,
All right, I'll say.
if you were sitting there right now and Baker isn't gonna resign, like let's say he says at the end of the year he's had a strong year, he's like, you know what, I'm gonna take my chances and test the complete market. Would you try hard to resign him, or would you try harder to potentially trade to get one of those quarterbacks from Pittsburgh?
I would probably try to re-sign Baker just because you already know what you got in him. You can see what he can do when he's healthy. He's got talent built around him that they got a pretty good offensive line when healthy.
Yeah. Yep.
And then as far as that, like Aller, I don't think Pittsburgh's giving him up for anything less than probably a second round.
Yeah.
And then Will Howard, I mean, I'd probably fork up a fourth rounder for Will Howard. But again, it depends. If I'm a team like Tampa Bay, yeah, I could probably afford to, part ways with a fourth round pick.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with you. If I'm Tampa Bay, like and Baker says like there's no chance, then I probably would reach out, like you were saying. But if he's giving you the opportunity, I agree with you. Like he's built chemistry with Ibuka. I mean, he made Ibuka look really good last year. He made a couple of their other wide receivers look really good when you pretty much were like, we don't even know what we got at wide receiver. So I agree with you. I was just throwing it out there as like a what if scenario, or like, do you value what Will Howard's doing and take the chance, roll the dice on him or Allard? But I agree with you that Pittsburgh's not going to if Allard looks strong in this game, they're not letting, I don't even think they would let Allard walk for
No,
even the
I mean,
second round.
because
I think
that's
they
the
would
thing. I
say
mean,
off the table.
yeah, I think they do value him high because I really don't think a lot of people are even looking at him as a third rounder. I really don't. Now, I mean, but again, I'm not an NFL GM. I'm not. My job's not at stake. But that's just me. But yeah. So, and then the other games we got. So Cowboys at Cardinals. That's another Saturday at 10 p.m. And then the cap off the weekend, you got Seahawks at Titans Sunday at 8 p.m.
So
So
hopefully on
another.
Sunday we can see some more Carno tape. I want to see I want to hear his name called more, getting drafted that high. I want to see some catches coming from him. And let's see if this Cardinals offense, man, another week. Let's see if we got if we're talking on Monday about how good the Cardinals offense looked, cuz
I want to see some. I want to see something else.
yeah,
So,
I do
no,
too.
obviously, no Jeremiah Love, but
Yeah,
yeah, that offense is going to be really exciting to watch. And I really am looking forward to seeing them this season.
same here.
But yeah, so that's the full list of games. I know we talked about it briefly. You hear all this stuff or reading into it with the temporary restraining order.
A little bit from what you told me. I'll let you explain it all because when you told me about it, I was shocked.
So yeah, so I had actually I kept seeing it pop up this week on social media. So basically, so it's I'm kind of reading off what I was looking at. So Louisiana State Court, they granted a temporary restraining order. When they say that, basically it's, them granting a fifth year of eligibility for college or well NFL players now to return back to college. So multiple athletes, signed by NFL teams, they can return for that fifth season. The lawsuit challenges restrictive NCAA eligibility rules. But this is the kicker though. So you're like, all right, that's not bad. That's okay. So by week one, there's about 30, about out of all 32 teams, about 37 players need to be cut down to trim it down to 53 players.
Yeah.
That means that over 1,100 players will be cut. And I think exactly the number is 1,184 players have to be cut. So if all these players get granted eligibility, does that mean like all these players? So I mean, right now it's 16 players so far have been granted this extra year of eligibility. I'll give you a
Right.
couple of notables. So Jack Pyburn, undrafted Buccaneers. He actually had 2 sacks in the last game. So I mean, I don't know. He played it was Florida and I think LSU last year. T.J. Harden was the most recent. He was with the Seahawks. He just I think like right before we got on this call. But for him though, he was actually cut. So he got cut. So he's not even with the Seahawks anymore. And then he
Okay.
but one of them that stood out for me was Xavier Harris. He was undrafted by the Saints. He's got 6'8", 320 pounds. I really liked him coming out. I thought he would possibly get drafted. He actually has the option. So he played at Ole Miss. He has the option to go back to Ole Miss. So that's just wild to me. I mean,
Absolutely
I don't know
insane.
for you. I mean, I guess it hasn't. I really haven't let it sunk in enough for it yet to really have like a reaction to like
Yeah.
whether it's good or bad for the game.
For me, I don't know if it's good or bad for the game. It kind of just depends because if you're talking about like, you know, they played, they got a couple of sacks, they did something significant, and then it turns around, they're allowed to go basically play in college. Like to me, then what happens? Do they enter the draft class again? Like do they got to get redrafted?
Yeah, I mean, I really haven't dug into it too much, but I guess that's how it kind of works. So, like, essentially, it's like, hey, you went, you signed your contract, you got your guaranteed money. I'm assuming once you're cut and you go back, I mean, you're forfeiting whatever the remaining contract
Yeah.
because you're not even tied to the team. You're not even in the league anymore. So I guess that's just how it works. It's yeah, you go back to college, you get either return to your team, that you were playing for, or
Right, right.
find another team.
Or you're like a
Yeah,
free agent.
yeah. You're just so. I mean, I don't. Again, I haven't let it. I haven't given it enough time to sink in, but it just doesn't sound right.
It doesn't
Just
sound right to me at all. Cause like in my head right now, I don't know if you've ever seen some of the videos of like they call it 37U, where it's a bunch of like just
old
retired old guys.
playing
That's
a
like what
semi-pro.
come yeah, that's like kind of what comes to my mind. It's like, so basically you got cut, you're given another chance to play college football, but like you're still taking the experience of being in the NFL and going back to school. Like it gets murky right there because
But
like
that's the thing. What even makes it even more murkier is not all these guys have been cut. To
yeah,
my knowledge, the only one that was cut was this T.J. Harden with the Seahawks.
yeah.
So like this Jack Pyburn who had 2 sacks last week, he was still on the team.
So he could just be like, you know what, like,
Yeah.
sure, I'm gonna go back to college because I don't. That's just so. It's so they gotta clean. They gotta really like define what you can do. Like maybe if they said, "Oh, you can only do this if you're a cut player," then like I could understand that.
See, that's right. I think there has to be some type of line. Like
Yeah,
I don't know. It's getting to the point where college football, the NCAA, it's just becoming like a farm system. It's a minor league
it
system.
really is. It really, really is.
I mean, that's
And
just what it's coming down to.
and that for me, that more ruins NCAA for me than the NFL because I enjoy watching my college football games. I enjoy the college football atmosphere. I enjoy seeing like, the the teams out because not every kid's gonna get drafted from these teams. So I enjoy seeing that competitive spirit in them that they're just competing for the love of the game. They're competing for that chance to be a national champion, and for them, that's going to be the highlight of their football career. So I hope it doesn't turn into something like that.
Well, I mean, that's just the kind of like kind of like jump down a rabbit hole. That's like the whole NIL thing. It's all being done in like in the wrong way. The whole
Yeah.
purpose of it is just okay, hey, you're all these companies and corporations are making all this money off these kids. These young males. They should be able to make their own money off of it. And okay, that's good. But now you're going to like worth boosters or giving player X $5 million, and not all of them are in the same situation. But you got a
Right.
guy that he's got a family living paycheck to paycheck. How do they say no to that? And
Hmm.
that's where it just really just that's where it kind of just like rubs me the wrong way, because it's like how are you gonna like do like this guy might have wanted to go to this college since he was a kid, but then
Yep.
this school who he wasn't even as in his sight, he's like, oh, but they're offering me this money, I could take care
Yeah.
of my parents, I could do all this.
Yep.
That's just where it just rubs me the wrong way.
Same here. Same here. And that's where I hope that the NFL can, just give a clear definition on this rule of what is going to be allowed and what's not going to be allowed, because it just murkies everything to the point where, both you and I are like, well, where does it stop? Where does the line stop? What can a player do and not do?
There has to be some type of guidelines. Well, yeah, man. Yeah, like I said, I'm sure more will unravel. More, information will come out. More guys will probably be granted eligibility. So we'll see. But for right now, week 2, preseason. Looking forward to the games tonight. This
Yeah,
weekend. But it's gonna be fun.
it definitely
But,
is.
but yeah, brother, you got anything else for me, man?
No,
Anything else
man.
to?
I really enjoyed being on Thursday for a
It's a
change.
nice. It's a nice change.
It was a nice change. Hopefully, during the season there's a good Thursday night game, or there's some free time I got. Hopefully I can jump on again with you guys on a Thursday, because it was a lot of fun doing it twice this week.
Absolutely, man. Double dose.
Yeah,
Well, brother. Yeah. As always, everybody. Thank you so much. The J by the Bay faithful. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please hit that subscribe button if you love these episodes, guys. It's going to be a long season. We'll be with you all year round. Again, you can get us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube. Also, check out the Instagram page at J by the Bay. Lots of fun stuff. But Blair, brother, yeah, thanks so much for hopping on.
absolutely, man.
I'll see you Monday.
Yep.
But yeah, for the J by the Bay faithful, God bless you guys. Thank you so much. Take care. We'll see you Monday.
Have a good weekend, guys.